Right, well, milk prices next season are predicted at $6+, of course, kilos of milk solids, and are going to drop many dairy farmers into that break-even territory. For a farmer to make debt repayments and some capital expenditure on environmental matters, we need to be closer to $7. So it is with pleasure I welcome to Sarah's Country tonight Agfirst economist Phil Journeaux. Good evening, sir.
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Now, Phil, we have been here many times before around those certain prices, but how do we navigate this when we simply don't know how long the effects of COVID will be?
Well, I think the main thing really, Sarah, is to start planning ahead, if you like. What I'd suggest to farmers now is do a budget for this year, or update your budget for this year, so you know where you're standing. If you're looking at a surplus, then look what you can carry across into next year. Mechanisms such as the Income Equalisation Act, or schemes rather, are there. You know, most of the country's in drought, so that those provisions are a little bit easier. But I'd also suggest you probably really need to start doing a budget for next year. And in that respect, I'd suggest do a budget at $6.50, see where you stand, then plug in a $6 payout and just see what you need to do to meet the drop in income, and then do another budget or plug in another price at $5.50 and just see what you need to do, which is really getting down to sort of survival type mode.
Yeah, sure. And what are some of those things you've seen in the past when we have had those real low payouts where people have probably, can I say, culled the wrong thing or been too short term in their thinking to come out the other side?
Yeah, well, I guess the main things that tend to be put off are certainly discretionary type spending, capital replacement, farm development, that sort of thing. If we're looking at a sub $6 payout, then most farmers won't be able to make capital debt repayments, and they basically won't be able to make capital expenditure, particularly around environmental type projects.
What advice in dealing directly with the banks around support around these cash flow tightening times do you recommend, Phil?
Yes, I think, again, given the drop in payout, a lot of farmers will be pushed to make capital repayments, which the banks have been getting very keen on in the last couple of years. I mean, if we head into a sub $6 payout, then I think farmers will really need to talk with their bank about coming back to interest only.
And Phil, of course, we talk. Yeah, and just jumping there too around. There's not any money in the kitty for environmental matters, let alone capital repayments. How do you feel? What's your suggestion for the unknown around environmental reform and the cost of that coming at a sector that clearly is on mainstream TV saying we need you and your $11 billion? Sorry, it's a quite politically divisive question, but to be able to make those decisions.
Well, I guess, there's huge uncertainty, heading out into next year. All I can suggest is in terms of some of those compliance costs, you really need to hold your farm expenditure as tight as you possibly can to hopefully allow, there's some surplus there to cover those sort of costs.
We're speaking later in the show to Matt and Jana Hocken. I know you'll know well from the Manawatu, Phil. What is some of the key attitudes and as well as business fitness that you've seen in some of your top clients, dairy farming clients, that you can give advice on how they navigate tough times?
Well, I think probably two key things, if you like. One is they certainly financially budget and they update that regularly, so they know where they stand, where they're heading, if you like, and are able to juggle that money around as things progresses. The other key thing is they do a lot of feed budgeting as well, So they've got a very good handle on how they're going to feed the cows, the sort of production they can expect, that sort of thing, and both flow together. And it's important. I mean, little savings in every direction soon add up.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. It's Phil Journeaux from Agfirst with some fantastic advice there in terms of navigating a low payout in a drought amidst COVID and a lot of uncertainty.
This is Sarah's Country.